As the Prime Minister said yesterday, the operation has entered a new phase. The search was already a highly complex multinational effort. It has now become even more difficult. The search area has been significantly expanded, and the nature of the search has changed. From focusing mainly on shallow seas, we are now looking at large tracts of land, crossing 11 countries, as well as deep and remote oceans. The number of countries involved in the search and rescue operation has increased from 14 to 25, which brings new challenges of coordination and diplomacy to the search effort. This is a significant recalibration of the search. The search and rescue operation continues to be a multinational effort, one led and coordinated by Malaysia. In the last 24 hours, the Prime Minister has spoken to the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, the President of Turkmenistan, the President of Kazakhstan, and the Prime Minister of India. Yesterday, the Foreign Minister of Malaysia briefed representatives from countries along the northern and also the southern corridors. At 2 p.m. today, the Foreign Ministry of Malaysia briefed representatives from 22 countries, including those along the northern and southern search corridors, as well as other countries that may be able to help. These include Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, Pakistan, Bangladesh, India, China, Myanmar, Laos, Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, and Australia. Malaysian officials are requesting support from these countries as well as others. This support includes general satellite data, radar playback, both primary and secondary, provisions for ground, sea, and aerial search, and assets as appropriate. We are currently discussing with all our partners how best to deploy assets along the two search corridors. At this stage, both the northern and southern corridors are being treated with equal importance. We are asking countries that have satellite assets, including the US, China, and France, amongst others, to provide further satellite data. And we are contacting additional countries who may be able to contribute specific assets relevant to the search and rescue operation. Surveillance aircraft are required and maritime vessels are needed, particularly for the southern corridor. The Prime Minister mentioned yesterday the refocus because of new information of certain equipment being intentionally turned off. And I believe the police, the IGP himself, have, in the last 24 hours, as I stated in my earlier statement, have started intensifying the study. That doesn't mean that we have not studied the manifest list earlier, but Tan Sri, maybe you could elaborate on that.
Well, in light of this new development and findings of the technical team, we have classified our investigation under Section 130C of the Penal Code. This provides investigation into offences of hijacking, sabotage, includes act of terrorism, and also all offences under the Aviation Offences Act. So that covers everything. So, and that means that we are intensifying our investigation.
It's very difficult for us to verify whether it is a hijacking or a terrorist act, and that's why the IGP, when he mentioned about the 4 areas that they're focusing, all possibilities we are not taking for granted at all. No, there have not been any.
Kita menyiasat ke semua. Itu termasuk 4 fokus yang saya sebut tadi itu, including the ground staff, termasuk engineer, termasuk technical officer, termasuk orang yang tarik kapal terbang, semua ni. We have not received the reply of background checks on all the passengers as yet. There are still a few countries yet to respond to our request for a background check. But there are a few intelligence agency, foreign intelligence agency, who has cleared all the passengers. We took possession of a simulator, of a flight simulator, and we have dismantled it from the home, and we have assembled it at our office, and we are getting experts to look at it now.
We have identified two areas, two arcs. We have given the chart to you yesterday. So both arcs on the north over the land, and the southern arc from the islands of Indonesia right to the southern Indian Ocean, and all that will be checked by the vessels and maritime vessels and aircraft that we are talking to the countries that should be able to help us in this.
As I stated earlier, since yesterday, where we're now looking at the northern and the southern corridor, we're looking at a large tracts of land. We're crossing 11 countries, as well as deep and remote oceans. Though in a way it gives us some certainty to where we are looking at, but the areas concerned are massive, and that requires a lot of coordination with a coordinated approach with many nations, and that's what we've been doing since yesterday.
What the experts have done, the expert mean the US team and the UK team, they have done with the 6 handshake that was provided by the service provider, the satellite service provider Inmarsat. They have time and coordinate, and we calculated against one on the minimum speed the aircraft could fly and the highest speed the aircraft could fly from the last point of contact. And we have 2 routes, and in between is the arc at the 40 degrees where the satellite look down both sides, north and south. That's how it's been done. And the interesting point is that the US team make their own interpolation with their own way. The UK did on their own way. When we compare them, both gave the same arc as been given to all the media yesterday.